What's good, family? What's good? It's your boy, Urban Sports Guru. Let me holler at y'all real quick. Some NBA talk. NBA Finals right around the corner. And we have the Golden State Warriors, in my opinion, ahead of schedule, firmly entrenched now into the NBA Finals, eliminating the Dallas Mavericks. And tonight we got Boston at home for Game 6 against the Miami Heat, depleted Miami Heat. So it looks like we're going to have Boston, Golden State in the NBA Finals. Now, looking at the Western Conference Finals, one of the things I noticed, and I've said this before, and other people are now getting on the bandwagon saying it, when I look at the Dallas Mavericks, first of all, I got to give Luka Doncic his props. He played bad last night, shot the ball terribly. But where I got to give him his props is I previously, people always call him a playoff performer. I looked at him as a stat stuffer. He is a stat stuffer. And I looked at him doing little shit to get away from good defenders. And what I saw in this year's playoffs, I saw him really carry them. But there's a lot of James Harden in this game, and that's what a lot of other people are starting to notice. I mean, he plays in a post, which James Harden doesn't, but he doesn't move without the ball. He really monopolizes the ball, which is how he stuff up those stats, and just has free reign to keep shooting. He shot the ball 28 times last night. I think it's going to make it very difficult to find other guys to play with him. It's going to make it very, very difficult because, yes, he shares the basketball, but it's only after he dribble, that kind of thing. So it's like, okay, you get a guy. This is what's happening in the NBA. You get somebody who's a decent ball handler, and you just run high screen rolls for him all day and surround him with shooters. This is LaMelo Ball is next. This is what's going to be happening with him. And watch him just pile up his stats. He's already doing it. Pile up his stats, basically doing the same thing. So that's what I noticed about him. But the thing that separates him from James Harden is that he gets it done in the playoffs. He gets it done in clutch moments. And he really impressed me this year in the playoffs. He really did. I give him all the respect in the world. Golden State Warriors, to me, are ahead of schedule because I looked at this team with James Wiseman being a championship caliber team. Without James Wiseman, they have really flawed on the inside. I was surprised Kevon Looney was able to basically dominate the glass against Dallas because Dallas has Powell and like adequate on the interior that they could throw at guys, length that they could throw at guys. But Kevon Looney was able to dominate. I don't see him having the same success against Boston, on the glass. I could be wrong. I'll be rooting for Golden State, but I could be wrong. The one thing about Boston that I've seen is they're very inconsistent. Their defense is very good, but they're very inconsistent. When I looked at Game 5, I mean, they played a Miami team just couldn't shoot the ball. Miami scored 80 points. Yes, the Boston plays great defense, but Miami just couldn't make shots. You know what I'm saying? If you're playing against another team that can score, that can continuously score, then what? When you're going against Boston and they're not scoring, I think Boston. That's where the intrigue is in this series because Jason Tatum is not consistent. He can give you 40, and then he'll give you 15 the next game. He's not consistent. I think Jaylen Brown is more consistent because he's twitchy. He'll get easy baskets than Tatum. Tatum, so much as what he does is relies on if his shot is falling. So much of what he does rely on that. Jaylen Brown, all around, is not as good as Tatum, but the fact that he gets baskets easier is something you can rely on more day to day. Now, this year in the NBA is funny because this year's Boston team and this year's Golden State team will not be in the finals if you had great teams. There's no great teams this year. The closest thing we had to a great team was Phoenix, and they was flawed because they had a good backcourt, but nobody else that could create shots. You double team Devin Booker. Chris Paul had a bad series. You put defenders on him, you wear him out. They basically Dallas did to Phoenix what was consistently done to Chris Paul when he was in the Clippers. wear him out on the defensive end because on the offensive end, he has to make every single play on the perimeter. The only relief he got was Jay Crawford. Everyone else had to rely on him to make plays. That was the same dynamic with Phoenix. They had to rely on him to make plays. It works in the regular season, but playoff time, when you can focus in on him and tire him out on the other end, this is why he hasn't had the playoff success. Having someone like Devin Booker helped, but when you're double teaming him every time, and it's funny to me because I remember the video came out a couple of years ago when they were practicing and Joakim Noah double team and he got pissed about being double teamed. This is how you learn to deal with double teams. This is how you learn to deal with double teams, because guess what? You're going to get double teamed. You are that good a player. You are going to get double teamed. Guess what? Hindsight is 2020. Probably wish he practiced against double teams more. I digress. As far as the NBA Finals, if Miami somehow were to make it, I think Golden State will be the favorite because Miami just isn't consistent enough scoring wise. They'll make it a series because they're that tough. But Golden State will win that series, I think, in 6 games tops. I don't see Miami winning it. I'm just putting that out there. But I see Boston making it. I think Boston is their series to lose. And I say that because not just how good they are defensively, they can switch everything, which is good. They're very physical, which gives Golden State problems. And lastly, they actually have more shot makers and shot creators than Golden State. I mean, we think about it. Now, Golden State will have Steph, Clay. They have Steph, they have Clay, they have Poole. This kid Moody played great in the Dallas series. There's 4 guys on the perimeter that can create and make shots. And of course, you got Draymond playing a similar role, say like what Al Horford does for Boston. A lot of intangible things. Boston, and then of course Wiggins. I'm forgetting all about Wiggins. Boston has more and better shot makers and shot creators as far as in totality. But their lack of consistency, what we've seen with Boston is they handle adversity very well. What we also seen is they don't handle prosperity very well. And because of that, this is what's going to make it a series. And if they continue to not handle prosperity, Golden State fuck around and beat them in 6 games. Because Golden State they're experienced enough and they've been on this level and they understand, like when Manu Ginobili used to say in June basketball, they're not going to make those same mistakes. They're not going to make the same mistakes that Miami has made or what Milwaukee made not having Chris Middleton because they didn't have another shot creator. Golden State has a couple. They have a couple. And if Andrew Wiggins could play as great on the offensive end and defensive end in that series as he did in the Dallas series, Golden State wins in 6 games. That's my take. It's your boy, Urban Sports Guru. I'm out. Salute.